First off, we attach the debugger. So if we bring up the Visual Studio environment and run our project, we're now connected, and this is the rotate 360 code here, which is the component I can see underneath. So this is an example of my component on the page. I can adjust the properties, and when I run it, I can interact with it. And what we can do now is bring up the debugger, set a watch point, so let's tell it to stop when it gets to line 42, and now when we run the project and we drag, it brings Visual Studio to the front. We can now see the different values, including that count of 36 you can see that I set as a property, and then I can step through and see what the code's going to do. In fact, I'll remove that breakpoint, leave it to run, and you can see it's now back under my control. But when it is stopped in the Visual Studio environment, the simulation is halted, so the app will not respond until you continue execution. But let's look at a slightly more complicated example. So if we went, for example, to the sample game page, so this is another example of a component. This is the whack-a-mole game. So what we're going to do here is go to the whack-a-mole script, and let's put a break on something like, say, a game end state here. So this is when the game is due to be finished. So if we run this project now, we can click, start the initial transition. We've got these little ladybirds that come up. If I hit them, I get a point. If I miss them, they'll run into my garden. And once 3 hit my garden, this is the last one now, live 0, it hits that code. So I can now step this code, look at all my values. These you can see here are updating tweens and animations, but those won't be applied until I restart, or so I should say continue execution. So if I keep stepping and then step out, return from, and now we have our system back up and running. So I could now start a new game and continue to step and watch variables as much as I need. And then the other great thing is, as I make changes here to my source code, so if I was to make a slight alteration to one of my debug lines, it's just a matter of pressing save, and now when I run my project again, that change has been picked up. So it's a very, very quick and powerful debugging cycle.